I'm a 57-year-old man, and I never imagined I'd be sharing something this personal. But I need to get this off my chest. It's been tearing me apart for weeks. My daughter, Lily, a 27-year-old woman, completely shattered my heart, and I reacted in a way that I'm still wrestling with, torn between regret and justification. I don't know where else to turn, so here's the story with some context, because it matters. Lily is my only child from my first marriage. Her mother left when Lily was 7, running off to Europe with a man named Mark. I raised Lily alone for 5 years until I met my current wife, Sarah, who's 45. Those 5 years were tough. Single father, running a business, raising a kid who was deeply hurt by her mom's abandonment. Fast forward to 2 months ago, Lily announced she's marrying her fiancé, Ethan. Lily and I have had a rocky relationship over the years, filled with challenges I won't bore you with. But when she shared the news about her engagement, I was thrilled for her, thinking maybe she was finally finding her way. She and Ethan were struggling financially. She only landed a stable job last year, and I'd been supporting them for a while. I'll admit I probably enabled her too much. They couldn't afford more than a simple courthouse ceremony, so I stepped in, offering to cover the entire wedding as a gift. Venue, food, flowers, music, everything. It was a $50,000 event. I'm not boasting, but my family's import business, passed down for 2 generations, gave me the means to do it. I remember sitting with Lily, discussing her vision. She was excited, showing me her mood boards and social media inspiration. For a moment, it felt like we were finally connecting, like the father-daughter bond I'd always hoped for. She hired a professional wedding planner, well known for high-end events in our area. I paid the deposits, let her take charge, and focused on work, figuring she'd want to handle her special day. I texted her one evening after she sent photos of the stunning lakeside venue she chose, saying how proud I was and how I couldn't wait to walk her down the aisle. She replied with a heart emoji. Looking back, that should have been a red flag, but I was too caught up to notice. Everything seemed fine for about 6 weeks. Lily was busy with wedding plans and I was footing the escalating bills. Think extravagant touches like a dessert bar and custom lighting. I even got a new suit tailored, with Sarah helping pick out colors. She's always supported Lily, despite Lily's coldness toward her over the years, but then subtle signs started piling up. Sarah's cousin ran into one of Lily's friends at a coffee shop and mentioned our excitement for the wedding. The friend looked puzzled, saying she thought Lily wasn't inviting us, something about cutting out toxic family for her well-being. Sarah's cousin pressed, but the friend dodged, muttering about Lily's tough childhood. I brushed it off as a misunderstanding, but I should have paid attention. The truth hit when my brother, Mike, called to confirm the wedding date for his travel plans. I figured I'd check with the wedding planner to add him to the guest list. Simple, right? Nope. The planner got cagey, saying the list was full and he'd need Lily's approval for changes. I was stunned. I'm paying for everything, and I need permission to add one guest? I pushed back, maybe a bit too hard, demanding the guest list. The planner hesitated but finally sent it. My name wasn't on it, neither was Sarah's. But the real gut punch? Father of the bride, Mark, to escort bride down the aisle. Mark, the man who helped my ex-wife abandon our daughter. The guy who told me, "Lily's your responsibility now," before vanishing to Europe. It wasn't just about being uninvited, it was about being erased, replaced by someone who hadn't contacted her in 20 years. Worse, I learned Lily had been spreading lies, painting me as an overbearing, neglectful father to justify it. I called my sister, parents, even cousins. Everyone had heard some version of her story. I was controlling, emotionally abusive, unsupportive. She'd been crafting this narrative for months, likely feeding it to Ethan's family too. I stared at that email for an hour, hoping I'd misread it. The planner even forwarded Lily's instructions, strict orders to bar me and Sarah from the venue, complete with security measures. I'd spent $50,000 on a wedding I was banned from, where my daughter would walk with the man who abandoned her. I didn't handle it well. I spent a week drowning in whiskey, barely eating, ignoring Sarah's pleas to take care of myself. I called Lily dozens of times, leaving voicemails that went from calm to desperate to angry, cringe-worthy looking back. What do you even say when your kid betrays you like this? Sarah, who's been in Lily's life for 14 years, was devastated too. She helped raise her through high school, college, even 2 rehab stints. Yeah, that's another story. She always defended Lily, and this was her reward. The wedding planner kept sending invoices oblivious to the drama, each one a reminder of my humiliation. Lily was off enjoying her bachelorette party, posting carefree photos online while I was falling apart. I saw them through my niece's social media. She looked so happy, like she didn't care about the pain she was causing. Nothing prepares you for this kind of betrayal. I've dealt with business betrayals, a messy divorce, but this was different. I kept picturing walking her down the aisle, all the years I stuck by her through tantrums, crises, late-night hospital calls, and now she chose Mark. After a week of spiraling, I sobered up and decided to confront Lily in person. Sarah tried to stop me, worried I wasn't calm enough, but I couldn't wait. I drove to her apartment, a place I'd helped pay for until recently, rehearsing what to say, hands trembling. I rang her buzzer repeatedly. She answered through the intercom, sounding annoyed. "Dad, I'm swamped with wedding stuff." She wouldn't let me up, treating me like a stranger. I lost it, buzzing other apartments until someone let me in. I got to her floor, heard her arguing with Ethan through the door. Ethan opened it, looking uneasy. Lily stood in her living room, furnished with my money, surrounded by wedding magazines and decor samples. She glared at me like I was an intruder. I asked why she didn't tell me about Mark walking her down the aisle. She smirked and said, "At least he didn't replace Mom." I was floored. This guy abandoned her, and I'm the villain for remarrying after 5 years of raising her alone? Then she said, "Now you know. Saves you the trip." She even mentioned sending photos if she felt like it, so casual, like it was nothing. Ethan chimed in, saying Lily told him I was an angry, controlling father who threatened to send her away as a kid. I was stunned. She'd convinced her fiancé I was a monster. She cut me off when I mentioned Sarah, snapping, "Oh, here we go with Sarah again. Did you ever think I didn't want your new wife at my wedding?" Then I saw it, a recent photo of her and Mark on her coffee table. She'd been in touch with him for months, planning this betrayal while spending my money. I asked what I'd done to deserve this. She rolled her eyes, called me dramatic, and said, "This is why I didn't tell you. You make everything about you. This is my wedding, my decision. You're just the wallet." Just the wallet. After 20 years of supporting her through everything, rehab, crises, all of it, that's what I was to her. I looked at Ethan and said, "Good luck, you'll need it," and left. The confrontation lasted maybe 15 minutes but felt like forever. I drove home in a fog, had to pull over because I was shaking so badly. Sarah picked me up, took me for ice cream like we used to do when Lily was little. She didn't say much, just let me process. The next day, I called Lily again. She picked up, probably by mistake, and I asked what I'd done to make her hate me. She unleashed years of resentment, claiming I'd ruined her life by remarrying. Never mind that I waited 5 years after her mom left. Sarah, who helped Lily through high school, tutored her, found her counselors, was just a gold digger in her eyes. She brought up the time she lived with my sister, claiming I abandoned her. In reality, I sent her there hoping a fresh environment would help. Instead, she bullied my niece, then got mad when I didn't defend her. She forgot all the times I fought for her, keeping her from expulsion, pulling strings for college, paying for everything. Then there's the money. Rehab isn't cheap. I paid for 2 stays, maxed out cards, took loans, whatever it took. She lived with us rent-free until last year, with me covering her car, phone, everything. Yet she said I owed her this wedding for ruining her life. When I pointed out the $50,000 was a gift, she called me entitled. She listed every perceived wrong. Business trips I took to provide for her, defending Sarah when Lily hurled vile insults at her. The worst? She said she wished her mom had taken her to Europe, that she'd rather have been with the people who abandoned her. That broke me. Sarah found me crying in my office, a first for her. She got angry, not at me, but at the situation. She's a teacher, works with troubled kids, and said Lily's behavior screamed entitlement. Looking at the mounting wedding bills, $15,000 venue deposit, $8,000 catering, $5,000 flowers, I snapped. I called my bank to stop payments, but most deposits were non-refundable. I didn't care. I canceled the venue, catering, flowers, DJ, everything but the planner, to keep Lily in the dark. Petty? Maybe. But I was so hurt, I couldn't think straight. I almost stopped when I saw a photo of Lily at her high school graduation, smiling. But then I remembered her smirk, her words. I kept going. Sarah helped with the calls when I got too emotional. The planner kept sending automated emails about deadlines, each one a fresh wound. Part of me wanted Lily to feel the pain I felt. A bigger part was just exhausted from being her villain. The dress was already hers, so I left it alone. I'm not a monster. The wedding day was chaos. Sarah and I tried to act normal, but we were glued to our phones. By 10 a.m., my niece texted that the planner arrived at the venue, only to be turned away by security with cancellation papers. Lily showed up at 11 in her gown, ready for photos, looking beautiful, which made it worse. She lost it when security barred her, screaming, trying to force her way in. She even yelled, "Do you know who my father is?" Ironic, since she didn't want me there. Mark? A no-show. She called him repeatedly, straight to voicemail. Ethan arrived, trying to stop her from getting arrested as she climbed a fence, ruining her dress. Guests showed up, 200 people, confused, with catering vans causing a traffic jam. The planner was panicking, calling everyone. Lily realized I'd canceled everything and lost it, laughing hysterically, telling guests I'd ruined her life. She called me dozens of times, leaving voicemails threatening me. Sarah, our home. She showed up at our house, still in her ruined gown, but couldn't get past the gate. She honked her car horn for 10 minutes straight until neighbors called the police. They escorted her away as she threw rocks at our cameras. Ethan looked mortified. Watching her unravel on our security footage was gut-wrenching. I didn't want this, not really. The planner called about payments. I told him to talk to Lily. Guests ended up at her apartment with store-bought cake, a sad attempt at a reception. The fallout was brutal. My parents drove 3 hours to confront me, my mom furious, saying, "Family doesn't do this." I explained everything, but she insisted I should have been the bigger person. They even offered to fund a new wedding, which stung. But when they told Lily, she turned on them, blaming them for her past struggles, kicking them out. My mom, with a heart condition, called me in tears, apologizing for not seeing Lily's true colors. My sister backed me, having seen Lily's behavior firsthand. My brother thought I went too far, splitting the family. Sarah's family, long wary of Lily, cut ties. My reputation took a hit. Business contacts distanced themselves, I was dropped from a club board, and Lily spread lies that I canceled the wedding because I'm racist against Ethan's family, despite Sarah's heritage. My secretary quit. Seeing my name dragged online was surreal, but Lily's cruelty to my parents erased some of my guilt. A month later, Lily and Ethan had a small backyard wedding. Mark didn't show. Life moved on, or so I thought. Then, last week, Ethan called. He and Lily separated 3 months ago. She'd been abusive, smashing his things, screaming for hours. He apologized, admitting she'd manipulated him into believing I deserved her treatment. He saw the red flags too late, said she'd turned on his sister too. He asked me to help get her into therapy. She was spiraling, harassing him. I visited Lily. Her apartment was a disaster. She screamed, blamed me for everything. Ethan leaving, her mom's abandonment. When I suggested therapy, she laughed, then said she hated Sarah so much she wanted to harm her. Her eyes scared me. I left, called Ethan, said I tried but couldn't help. I reached out to Lily's old friend in South Africa who convinced her to start therapy. She apologized to my parents but still won't forgive me or Sarah. Don't know what's next. The girl I raised is in there somewhere, lost under anger and pain. I've learned I can't save her, thanks to those who've supported me, especially other parents with similar stories. Sometimes you love someone with everything you have, but you still have to let go. It hurts like hell.